Hello and welcome to the United preview. We do a United view every Sunday at 10 o'clock in the night in the evening. Today, seeing as we've got a very big game coming up, we thought why not do a United preview. This is only our third ever United preview, so make sure you get yourselves involved. Subscribe, comment in the boxes on either side, and tweet us at the United view. We're sorry about the hold up. Unfortunately, Kevin's had some technical problems. We wanted to give him as much time as we could, and we're gutted that Kevin isn't here with us to start the show, but hopefully he'll get himself on so he can get involved with the show in just hopefully a little while. So let's introduce you to today's panel. We've got our regularist with us today and to chat all things Scousers. Sean, thank you for coming on, mate.
Hi, Ben. Pleasure as always.
Looking forward to your views on the Scousers this evening. And also on the show tonight, do you know that Tara Fergie banner? You know the book? Well, we've managed to get ourselves an extra special guest for this special Scousers special. Pete Molyneux, thank you for coming on, mate.
My pleasure, Ben. Happy to be here.
Great to see you on the show. And in advance, thank you for recording some 12 Greats of Christmas with us as well.
Oh, no, I really enjoyed it. I hope it was useful.
Wait until everyone watches them. I cannot wait. What a man. This guy's got an encyclopedic knowledge and encyclopedic mind. Right, anyway, let's get on with tonight's show. It's all about the Scousers. Sean, we'll come to you first. How much are you looking forward to Sunday?
I'm very much so looking forward to it. Obviously, we've got a lot of confidence going into it. Being 5 games unbeaten, their form hasn't been overly great. But this is one game of the season where form completely goes out the window. I'd like to say I was confident that we're going to actually smash them, but I think it's going to be a tight game.
You reckon it's going to be a tight game? Why?
I don't know. I just think it will be a tight game. Maybe 1 or 2 goals in it. I don't think it's going to be a smashing, so to speak. I'd say form goes out the window for this game. They'll be up for it. We'll be up for it. Anything can happen.
Okay, fair enough. Pete, we'll come over to you. How much are you looking forward to it?
Oh, blimey. Hard to put it into words. I think if you follow football and you follow United, if you're not looking forward to a United-Liverpool game, then something's died inside you. We're made for days like Sunday, aren't we? For me, it's the biggest domestic match. Just about shades the Manchester derby, but it's the biggest game. It's because of the history between us over the last 50 years. But really, take all that away, strip it down. We want and we need the 3 points to get embedded in that top 4, top 3, and also, faintly keep alive a chance of winning the league, because I don't think that's written off yet. But I agree with Sean. I think it will be a tight game, only because these games usually are. Liverpool are a wounded animal. I could easily convince myself that we'd whoop them 3 or 4-0, but they're wounded, the pride's hurt, they want to have a go at us. And also, we've not been winning games convincingly. We're doing well, we're turning it around, we're getting a good run together, but I think we've only won 3 games by more than 1 goal, so I'll probably go for 2-0, and I'm confident.
Hey, we'll come back to predictions in a minute, Pete. But first of all, you mentioned it there, and I'll just quickly bounce on it. We put this on our Twitter earlier on about whether it is still the biggest game in United's calendar. Sean, we'll come to you. Why do you think the Liverpool match is the biggest game in our calendar, and do you think it still is?
Yeah, I think it's our biggest game. Last season, when it came down to the nitty-gritty, it was between City or Liverpool to win the league. I preferred City to win it over Liverpool. No doubt about that at all. I think that obviously there's the rivalry between the 2 Manchester clubs, but I think the rivalry that we have with Liverpool is because we're the 2 most successful clubs. Obviously, we managed to knock them off the perch, and we've gone to ahead of them, and obviously we don't want them to catch that up. And they're sort of showing us this season that that's not going to happen this season. But I mean, as we've already touched on, they're wounded at the moment. They're hurt, especially after how well they did last season. You can't take it away from them. They played very well last season, and definitely deserve to be above us, because I mean we just played trash, whatever kind of word you want to use. There's lots of words to describe it, just that can't go on air. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely the biggest game in our season.
Yeah, I was going to say, Sean, I've got to say, Mr. J agrees. Always will be the most two successful teams in the country. So, expanding on your point, I go by many names. Says Liverpool will always be our biggest game. Historically, the two biggest, most successful clubs with real hatred for each other. Pete, as an old school fan, if you don't mind me saying, for the fans who don't know, obviously we don't just hate Liverpool because they're Scouse. Why do we hate Liverpool, Pete? Just for the old school fans.
Well, from a footballing point of view, it took off in the 60s. I wouldn't say the hatred. It was healthy competition because Shankly built something good down the road, and Busby had already built something good in Manchester. And when I started watching in the first team in '64, Liverpool had just won the league, then United won it, then Liverpool, then United. And they were both breaking through in Europe, and United won the race for that to be the first English team to win the European Cup. So it was very competitive, and I think what increased the competitiveness was the barren years we had, the 26 years from '67 to '93, because we thought, not in an arrogant way, but we should be getting a slice of being champions because we'd done it in the '40s and the '50s and the '60s. And yet our team was, after reaching the pinnacle of winning the European Cup, started sliding down the league and into the second division, and took a long time to climb back up. And all that time we were having, as if that wasn't bad enough, we were having it rammed down our throats that Liverpool were winning title after title after title. So when you got to that 1967, '68, both teams had won 7 titles each. When you got to the start of the '90s, Liverpool had moved that to 18. And United was still on 7. And those were dreadful times to live through. And it was mainly because Liverpool were ramming it down our throats. So we were that added to, I think, the intensity. And what we've got to remember is that Liverpool are only 2 years away now from going 26 years without the title. So they'll be wrought now with their frustration and angst.
Yeah, just like we were. Your face, you Scousers. And hopefully we'll be able to rub something else in their face as well after Sunday's match. It's going to be a great game. And I've got to say, Sean, we was touching on this for the Southampton game. And it was having little footballers with pace run at us. It's always a worry. It's always been United's Achilles heel, if you like to say so. We always get torn apart by short players. Serge made a point of Wayne Routledge, Aaron Lennon, Nathan Dyer. All these players always running at United defence, always worry us. I mean, can you kind of tell us who we should be worried about from a Liverpool point of view? Do you still think we should be worried about Raheem Sterling?
I think that Sterling is by far probably their best player at the moment. And let's face it, I mean, he's not even playing all that well either. So, to be honest, I mean, you know my views, but I don't watch anybody else by United. I don't care what other teams are doing. I mean, they've got good players. I mean, everybody makes the joke that they relied on Suarez last season. Let's face it, he did score the majority of their goals. They're unfortunate that they've got Sturridge out at the moment. If Sturridge was in the team, would they be doing any better? But then again, we've got exactly the same problems with Falcao. If Falcao was in our team, would we be winning games comfortably rather than just scraping them as we are doing? If we had our full back line fit and not half of them on the injury table, would we be winning games comfortably? Because the midfield wouldn't have to be sitting slightly deeper and worrying about the makeshift defence. Therefore, they could be putting more through balls for the guys up front to be putting them away in the net. But yeah, I don't really think there's an awful massive concern over any Liverpool player at the moment. They're all on a bad run of form. But again, as we touched earlier, this isn't a form game. This is a pride game. Yes, okay, because of the influx of the foreign players, there might not be quite as much pride on show, but all those players, if they need motivation to get up to play United, and likewise for us to play Liverpool, then they're at the wrong club.
Yeah, no, that's true. Pete, just quickly coming over to you, mate. I wasn't going to ask you. I've completely forgot. Oh yeah, Mario Balotelli is back in training for Liverpool. Should we be worried?
Well, he's always a danger, as we saw in the World Cup. But he'll be a bit rusty. Sterling is good, but he can't do it on his own. Last year, that combination of Sterling, Vidic and Suarez was quite. Those rapier thrust breakthroughs were very few teams could live with. But that's been blunted, obviously, with Suarez going and Sturridge being injured. Sterling, no, I don't think he can do it on his own. He runs up too many blind alleys. If Balotelli plays, yeah, we've got to watch him. And he'd want to pull something out on the biggest stage, so it'd always be a danger. And the only other guy that I rate is Coutinho. I think he's a clever little player. Not sure if he'll be playing tomorrow, but those are the only real danger areas, I think. But I'd rather concentrate on our strengths. I think our strengths can bulldoze a Liverpool. And that's so. On the pitch and off the pitch, on the terraces, you know.
I really hope so. You can hear in the background, Kevin's joined us. Kevin, thank you for coming on, mate.
Hello?
Hello, mate. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're echoing a little bit, so if you could maybe try and sort that little problem out. But anyway, we're going to come over to you now. We're just talking about Liverpool. I can hear myself, by the way, really badly. Is that a little... Sorry,
yeah.
Your end? If you could turn yourself down quickly, I can hear myself really badly. I want to come over to you and just quickly ask you about the Liverpool game. I mean, are you excited? Can you wait to see it?
Yeah, of course, you've got to be excited about this game. It's obviously a big game. I think over the last couple of seasons, maybe as in terms of importance in a season, it's maybe not as big as it was. But certainly, I mean, if we can get 3 points there on Sunday, it certainly puts some distance between the two clubs. At the start of the season, you would have thought Liverpool would have been challenging for that 4th spot. So, from our point of view, if we can get the job done on Sunday, it certainly keeps us well within that top 4, and that's the goal for the season, I'd say.
Yeah, we can only hope, can't we? We can only hope. Anyway, let's move on to Sean. Sean, now there's been some classic United Liverpool games. I mean, can you pick out some classic Liverpool United moments for us?
I'm gonna mention a moment from one of our greats, our 12 greats of Christmas. I'm going to mention Mr. Cantona in I think it was '96 FA Cup. That goal that obviously won us the game. Absolutely fantastic goal. That's sort of one of the first goals that jumped into my mind when I think of a United Liverpool game. I don't know what it is. I think we've got an advantage this season because we haven't got Vidic in defence. I don't know what it is, but Vidic always seemed to do silly things against Liverpool. That's another memory I have, is just Vidic getting sent off or giving away penalties or something.
That's when he was playing against Torres.
That's
yeah,
very true.
always against Torres. I mean, Kev, what about you? Some classic United Liverpool encounters. What could you go back to? Share us your history. Pete? Sorry, mate.
Sorry, you say Pete? I thought you said Kev.
Pete.
Oh, right, sorry, I do apologise. Right, okay, oh gosh, United Liverpool games. Well, of course, the ones we remember as classics are the ones United win or win well, and there's nothing wrong with that. So, blimey, just thinking now, it's the one the other year when Berbatov did he get a hat trick? Berbatov against him, a 4-0 win.
Yeah, and that overhead kick.
The overhead kick that was excellent. One great game between the two sides, really. I remember January '94, we were going for the double, and we went 3-0 up. Certainly in the first half, I can't remember all the details, but 3-0 up, and it felt like it was going to be a real hammering on the home ground for Liverpool. And slowly but surely, it edged the way back in. I think Nigel Clough got a couple, and Ruddock scored, pulled it back to 3-3, which was a sickener. although in the end it didn't do us any harm in terms of out where we finished. But it was a real great game that night, and the place was rocking. But if I had one standout moment, I think it would have to be John O'Shea's last-minute winner at the Kop in 2007. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah.
And the celebrations on the pitch that day at the end that O'Shea scored were brilliant in front of the Kop. But Gary Neville and Van der Sar were running to the United fans behind the goal at the Anfield Road and just joining in. It was just bedlam. And a last-minute winner at Anfield when you're going for the title, it's better than all your best Christmases and best sex ever.
DAY has agreed with you. His first memory is the John O'Shea goal. Kevin, let's come over to you, mate. You are muted, so if you quickly will not mute. What's your favourite United Liverpool memories, mate? What can you remember? What sticks out when you think United Liverpool? Kevin? Oh. Sorry, mate, you're muted. I think that's why we can't hear you. You might have to unmute yourself quickly. Oh, he's there. There he is, Kevin. Your favourite United Liverpool memories, mate. Oh, no, you're muted again. Don't we just love technology tonight? It's just not helping us at all. Sean's got a massive grin on his face. He loves it when things go wrong for me.
Ben, if you want to another quick one I've forgotten about.
Go on then, go for it.
77 Cup final. You know, when we stopped Liverpool doing the treble.
Oh, right, yeah.
22 years before we did it, they could have become the first team to win the English, the first English team to win the treble, the European Cup, the League, and the FA Cup, and we beat them in that final against the odds. But that was a superb, superb day. First United victory in the Cup final for 13 years, and first trophy since we won the European Cup 9 years before. So that was a very, very special day, and the Scousers buggered off to Rome very quickly that day.
I bet they did as well. Sorry, Kevin, let's come over to you, mate. If you quickly unmute yourself. I mean, what's your favourite United Liverpool memories?
Well, I was at the Cup final back in '96. My dad took me along to that. So as far as early memories go, I remember. Well, I can't remember much from the game. It was an awful game of football, and obviously to win it in that fashion at the end, when Eric Cantona scored that goal, unbelievable scenes. Like I say, it was an awful game to watch as far as United Liverpool games went. But at the end of the day, United won the trophy, and that's all that mattered really. Another memory would be probably '99. 1-0 down with a few minutes left at Old Trafford. United scored 2 late goals, and basically that year we had a knack of scoring late goals, and the rest is history really. As far as the 1999 season is concerned.
Now, we're chuffed that we've managed to get you on in the end after all the technical difficulties, Kev. So I feel like I need to come back to you and just quickly catch up. Everyone was talking about the rivalry between United and Liverpool. For you, is it still as fierce as it first was?
It's still as fierce. At the beginning of the season, this is the fixture that leaps out. This is the one you look at and you think, when have we got Liverpool? You sort of have a kind of order, maybe Liverpool, your Derby, your Man City. But I did do something a few years ago where I did write something, and I thought with Sheikh Mansour's money coming in and the way that City were going about things, I did feel that maybe supporters' minds or United fans, some fans would start to maybe change their way of thinking. I know United and Liverpool have both got great histories. They both won, countless trophies and stuff. And I know City are just beginning on this, but at the end of the day, I think Man City are, our City sort of neighbours, and they now they're more likely to win trophies than Man City. And I think we probably look at that now. Maybe will Liverpool win the league or be challenging for trophies realistically in the next sort of 5 years? you know, I don't think so. I think City are the team that, you know, we're trying to get back to where we were, and I think that really, you know, City are the team that we're trying to battle to get back to where we were. But yeah, don't get me wrong, Sunday, tradition, history, everything, you know, Liverpool, it's still a great game.
Yeah, and we're hoping for a great win, aren't we, on Sunday? Got a quick shout out to Quita, Moho, Pasha. Hello also to, is that Guidado? Am I saying that right? Nathan, Clown, all in the chat box this evening. Feel free to comment in the chat box and talk about what we're talking about. We'll try and get your opinions on the show. Also, hello to DAY15, whose first United Liverpool memory is to know Shea's goal. Also, going back in the tweets to Kelvin, who says that Balotelli's return is nothing to worry about. He'll be caged by Rojo and co. We can only hope so. Right, let's come over to you, Sean. We want to have a lineup prediction, please, if we can.
A lineup prediction, blimey. Well, I believe that from today's press conference that Raphael and Phil Jones are both fit and available. I will go back to a back four. Raphael, Jones, Rojo, and Young.
We just don't like leaving Young out the side at the moment, do we, Sean? We're his biggest fans at the moment. We're probably keeping him in the team.
Let's face it, like I said the other day, if RVP hadn't bagged the winner against Southampton, Youngie would have had a very good chance to be a man of the match again. I actually believe that Johnny Evans got man of the match for the Southampton game. Quite how, I have no idea, but there.
No, RVP did get it. He did. Just Johnny Evans was doing the interview as well.
Ah, right, okay. I didn't see the interview. I just heard him say man of the match, Johnny Evans, and switched it off. Right, in midfield, I'll go with Carrick, Holding, Herrera, Mata, sort of as the number 10, and Fellaini, with Rooney and RVP up top.
Okay. Pete, would you go with the same sort of formation, or do you think Louis van Gaal will stick with his three at the back?
He might stick his three at the back. When we say three at the back, I see it more as five at the back. You know, those two wing backs playing. He does like that. Valencia and Young have done well, especially in Shaw's absence. I'd prefer that three at the back with plus the two wing backs, because I think that's a more offensive role, and I think we need to go at Liverpool, not sit at them, just really hit them, and with the wing backs we can. So no, I think I think Young will stay in. I think Carrick will play at the back, and maybe Rocco, Valencia, Di Maria in midfield. Falcao up front I'd like to see, with Van Persie and Rooney sitting back a bit.
Okay.
If he's fit. I want to see Falcao play. I think we all do, don't we? We've had little tastes, and it's looked good. He holds the ball up brilliantly. And I just think he's bursting to score, you know. And I think this is the stage for him.
Hopefully.
So I'm not giving you a full line up there, but I think a little bit's probably being made out that this back three, back four thing. I think he just likes to play tunes on his back five. And he always has done from the bit I've read about Van Gaal. You know, I'm no expert on him, but I think he likes to have flexibility on the field.
Yeah.
You can call it total football if you will, but I think in the end that's what he'll stick with tomorrow and going forward.
Okay. The diamond formation. I wish you played a diamond formation every week. Kevin, let's come over to you. What do you make of the different formations and the way, you know, we're going at the moment? How would you play against Liverpool? What would your lineup be?
I think it's going to be totally different from what Van Gaal's looking at. I mean, with the players available tomorrow, I mean, I'm hearing Di Maria's out tomorrow, is it?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
Right.
From what we can gather, so I think we're going to be looking. I think he's going to play more or less the same formation that he's played as St Mary's there on Monday night. I can't say I totally agree with it, because I am not a big fan of this 3-5-2 formation. I think it sort of robs us kind of width in the side, and getting the teams down the side probably leaves us quite vulnerable as well. But yeah, I would probably think it would be more or less. I think he's got a good a decision to make with McNair, really. It was a big decision.
Sorry, I was going to say, Kev, I expect to see McNair on the bench.
Yeah. And like I say, it'd be a big decision to throw him into a game like that now, especially after bringing him off against Southampton so early. Confidence-wise, as a young lad, what we really want to see is him bounce back from this now, and it's got to be a lesson that he learns. He can't sort of dwell on it for too long. So, like you say, I'd probably agree with that. I don't think he would throw him into such a big game now. His confidence must have taken a bit of a beating there at St Mary's on Monday night.
Yeah, well, we can only hope they'll be back and on form soon, because he is a fantastic youngster, a ridiculously good player. Right, let's come over to you, Sean, first of all, who's echoing now, which is lovely. We love problems, don't we? We love technical difficulties.
There's not many shows that go without at least one technical difficulty.
Yeah, I love hearing myself, so it's great I can hear myself for everyone tonight. Anyway, great opinions on the panel tonight. We want to get a prediction right, Sean. So, what are you going with? Prediction, goals and goal scorers, please.
I'm going to go 3-2 United. Rooney, Falcao, and Carrick again. I went for Carrick last week, and that was miles out, so I'm going to go again. Carrick, Falcao, Rooney.
Are you going to be one of these people who always goes for the same numbers on the lottery, hoping they'll come up one day, and that's why you're predicting Carrick to score again?
Maybe, who knows? Carrick's due a goal, come on.
Yeah, true, that is true. Let's come over to you, Pete. Prediction, please, and goal scorers.
Yeah, I'll go with the 2-0 I said earlier. I think we can hold them at bay. And score as well, I'll go for another one from Van Persie. I think he's hit a vein of form. I think his head's up now and his chest's out. And I'm fancying Rocco to get a goal. I like it when he comes up at corners. I think he's got a nose for goals. So Rocco and Van Persie in a 2-0 win.
That would be lovely, wouldn't it? Hello to Nathan, who's gone 3-1 United, Rooney double and Falcao, Raheem for them. Hello to Hockey Man, he goes 1-0. I'll take that with the Gea man of the match. Elliot says 4-1. Rooney, Brace, Falcao and RVP both getting 1. And also hello to Ronnie, who says 5-0 United, Rooney 2, Falcao 2, RVP 1. Kev, 5-0? Sorry, mate, you're muted. You might have to unmute yourself again.
Oh, yeah, I'd take 5-0 if you'd offered it me now. I'd be quite happy with that. My prediction. Do you know what? I'm going to go with 3-0.
Yeah, who's going to score?
Scorers, I'm going to go for Rooney 2. Rooney will be well up for this one, and Van Persie on current form. Okay. At the end of the day, if we play as bad as we did against Southampton, we'll be fine. We should batter them.
Well, I've got to say, Abdella agrees with you. 3-0, 2 for RVP though, and 1 for Falcao. El says United 3, Liverpool 0, Wazza, RVP and Mata. Mark also says 3-0. And hello to Sei, who says 4-0. Rooney 1, Falcao 1, RVP 2. Ulster's Finest says 2-0 Mata and Falcao. Mex says 2-0 as well. And Lee says 4-1. I think Liverpool are poor. God, we might have our technical difficulties tonight, but I've got through all the tweets, which is lovely. We are the United View. We do pull your opinions across, and we want your opinions on this next talking point and our final talking point of the show. Now, we'll come to you first, Pete. It's been highly rumoured this week that Nemanja Vidic could be joining or rejoining the club in the new year. Now, personally, I believe we've sailed that ship. Great defender, wasn't he? But he's not what we need at the back, is he?
He is if he was 10 years younger. If we could turn back time. No, Vidic was a great servant for United. Fantastic. I loved him. Still love him. Always will. But you shouldn't go back anyway. He shouldn't come back, and we shouldn't try and get him back. I think this is just a story that's will sell a few newspapers and keep a few of us talking and twittering. I don't believe it's going to happen. I don't think it should happen. I think the answer to the defence either lies in what we've got or bringing somebody new in when Van Gaal's had a good look at all the players available. So no, let's enjoy the fond memories of seeing Vidic play. And thank God that he signed for us when he did,
What a player as well. Don't know about you, but I see traits in Rojo as I did when Vidic first joined personally. So I'll give Rojo some time too. Just want to quickly shout out these people. Quita Thomas says 3 for Falcao, RVP, and Rojo. So I take it that's 3 for Falcao, 1 from RVP, and 1. Or is it 3-1? No, I think you've gone for 3-1. Falcao, RVP, and Rojo as scorers, and Sterling with 1 to make it 3-1. Also, DAY says 3-1. Young, Carrick, Falcao. Oh my God, someone else agrees with Carrick, Sean. And hello to Mr. J, who says 2-1. Herrera and Evans with a goal. Johnson for them. Right, Sean, let's come over to you. The Vidic return. What do you reckon?
No.
Is that it?
You want me to elaborate? No. Pete just touched on it. Then he was fantastic. If it was 10 years ago, we could turn back the time. We wouldn't employ Moyes for the 13-14 season, so that wouldn't have happened either. But no, Vidic is that like you said, the ship sailed. He's having a poor time in Italy. I mean, if he came back as a coach, I wouldn't be adverse to that happening, to a defensive coach. But I don't want him back as a player. Last season, he'd lost so much pace. And we were saying on Sunday night for the Southampton preview that how long can a player go on for? Is age really a factor? But we saw last season just how much pace Vidic had lost. It was the same with Rio as well, and it was no, we don't need him back.
Kevin, what do you reckon about the Vidic rumours? Do you agree?
I tend to agree with Sean there. I mean, it is almost like that ship sailed with Vidic. I suppose the flip side is you bring a player like that back, it can only have a good effect on the players that he's training with. If you did bring him back, I mean, players like McNair, Blackett, they can only learn things from a player like Vidic, and if it's only over a period, let's say, I don't know, 5 months to the season, from January, then I definitely am all for it. I don't know how much game time he's going to get, and you've got to take into consideration we're not in the Champions League. He's not going to be a player that plays every week, but I personally still think he could do a job. But again, it's that, do we bring him back? And we remember the Vidic of old, and it's, I don't know. Like I say, maybe that ship has sailed, and we need to look elsewhere. But I don't think we'll be able to get any of the players that we want in January because of commitments in the Champions League, personally.
Do you reckon when you say you think he could do a job, do you mean a job in the first team or a job in the squad?
Yeah, in the first team, but I do mean the bigger picture of players like I say, McNair, Blackett, even Smalling, players like that could only learn from training every day with a player like Nemanja Vidic. If you're training with Vidic and he walks, you're training alongside him, you can only learn good things from him. So, I mean, look at what, say, Laurent Blanc did when he came to the United side. He got a bit of there's a criticism of him when he first come into the team. Oh, he's too slow. He still had it in his head. You never lose it up there. So I think Laurent Blanc had a great effect on players like John O'Shea, Wes Brown, players like that who are still, playing at a good level. So, yeah, in that sense, I think Vidic could come in, do a job. It's the bigger picture. It's not just first team. It's you know, these players, the younger players, are training with a top player like that every day, so that they'll learn from him.
I've got to say, actually, a lot of people agreeing on the chat. Nathan says, I'll take him as a leader, warrior, a henchman, and would be a nice asset to have on the short term. It will be a cheap alternative and then wait until the summer to buy somebody else. And Quita says it's the awful truth, really. He will always be United, but his time has come and gone. I honestly wish he had never left. He could have been like how like how Giggs is now. Sean, did you want to say anything else on top of that about Vidic?
Yeah, I agree with Kevin. He would obviously bring back a lot of experience with him. And talking of players returning, obviously, just a shameless plug here. Don't forget to tune in for 9 o'clock tomorrow morning for Paul Scholes' special on the 12 Greats of Christmas, because that's another player that did come back and did absolutely fantastically well for us in that period when he came back. Perhaps I'm being harsh on Vidic, but I just seriously think that although you can compare the two, that their age wasn't on their side. Scholes had probably lost a little bit of pace. Vidic has lost pace. There is a comparison. I just think that Scholes had more about his overall game than what Vidic has got, and being the last man in front of De Gea, I think that the whole pace thing is what would turn the idea off for me. If it was, for instance, he comes in January for the 6 months to then take on a coaching role, and
like the bigger picture that Kevin was saying.
Yeah, the bigger picture. If we can get him in 5-6 months as a coaching role, as cover for defence, as opposed to a first team player, and give his experience, share his experiences with the likes of Blackett, McNair, even Smalling, Jones even. And let's face it, they're all young players. Obviously, McNair and Blackett are a lot younger than Jones and Smalling, but they're still relatively young in their careers. And his experience would be invaluable for them. And then, as I say, then from next season, have him as a defensive coach. I think that would be absolutely fantastic.
I mean, Pete, I suppose the argument is everyone's going to have a different opinion. Everyone's going to have a different thought about it, Pete. But overall, the bottom line is he should never have left.
No, and I have a sneaking feeling that if he'd have known that Van Gaal was coming, or maybe more so that David Moyes was going to go, he may have stayed on. I don't know. He might have wanted a final payday. Who knows? I don't think he would have disgraced himself if he'd have stayed on. He'd have put in the effort this season and probably played quite a few of the games. I think what the most disappointing thing for me, and I guess a lot of United fans, is the fact that last season, but particularly this season, has been a golden opportunity for the three centre-backs in Jones, Smalling and Evans to come through. They were lads bought by Fergie or brought in around in Fergie's era with bags of potential, and that potential isn't getting realised either because of injury or when they come in, they're not making it impossible for the manager to drop them. So that's been disappointing for me on the centre-back front, if that's not a contradiction term, that those lads who we all thought had great potential are not doing it for whatever reason, and I've no downer on either of them, but Van Gaal will only give them so much time, and whether it's fitness or ability, he'll move on if they don't do what they've got to do. So I think he's sussing them all out. He's giving youth a chance like he always does. He put Kluivert in at 16 and Seedorf in at 16 when he was at Ajax. He's done it with Blackett and the other lad, McNair. And he'll see what they do. And then if they don't come up trumps, he'll buy a centre-back, at least one for his pairing. I'm convinced of that, whether that'll be January or it may be next summer. And I think that's just the way it'll pan out. And Vidic is part of our great history and needs to stay there.
Yeah, I think everyone kind of agrees with that, but then everyone's also saying, well, actually, quite true. We all agree looking at a bigger picture, Vidic will be an asset due to his experience. I think everybody agrees that. It's under control, says, however, merely a role where he doesn't play often in the odd cup game, he would be great in terms of experience. And for the young lad, well, the debate goes on. We'll know, won't we, come January. Anyway, we've previewed the Liverpool game. We've spoken about Vidic. We've spoken about your views. So that means we've done our preview. Thank you for watching. Just a quick flick to tomorrow. Now it's the launch, the kickoff of the 12 Greats of Christmas. Sean, I feel like I need to come to you and quickly ask you to pan into your Christmas tree, which I can see in your top corner of your screen. Can you move it around so we can see that Christmas tree, or is it just not technically? Here we go. There we go. You got to say something or no one will see it.
Oh yeah, it's a lovely Christmas tree, and the stars had a few drinks because it's sort of leaning over a bit. But yeah.
Well, don't everyone at home. I reckon everyone else is having a few drinks to get themselves through this as well. But there we go. Thank you for watching, guys. Our panel tonight, absolutely fantastic. Kev, it was great getting you on in the end. Thank you for making the effort of coming on, mate. And hopefully we get you on soon again with no technical difficulties. Where can people find you on Twitter?
My Twitter handle is @KevinAshford7. If you want to get on that, you can have a look. It's also got the link to my blog, Manchester is Red. If you have a look on that for any write-ups are done, fill your boots.
Thank you, mate. It's been great having you on. Hopefully we get you on again soon as well, because honestly, your views are absolutely brilliant. A lot of people agreeing with you tonight. Pete, can I please say it? Please, can I say it? Ta-ra, Pete.
Ta-ra, Ben. Ta-ra, lads.
Pete, where can people find you on Twitter, mate?
Very simple. I'm at Pete Molyneux, all one word. Pete Molyneux.
Pete's one of these showbiz people who have his whole name as his Twitter account. You know, one of these lucky people.
Very uninventive, but simple, like myself. And I don't tweet a great deal. I put my comments in when I want to, but I tend to put a few good old photos up there if you want to have a look at them. Of the last
no
15
naughty
years.
ones, Pete. No naughty ones.
Oh, good Lord, no, I mean Manchester United. No, those others are sending in that brown envelope, Ben.
Oh, right, okay. Cheers, Pete. We won't make them public, will we?
No.
Also, thank you, Sean, for coming on, mate.
There's no problem, Ben, at all. Actually, it's been absolutely brilliant to be able to talk with Pete.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? I think
Well,
Kevin
my pleasure too, guys.
Now, I will point you in the direction quickly of Sean on Twitter, @SeanMUFC20, by the way. But also the 12 Greats of Christmas. Sean, they start tomorrow with Paul Scholes. Now, you and Tom are part of the panel for the Paul Scholes programme. It all kicks off at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, and it carries on to 9 o'clock in the evening. We've got United before Fergie involved. He's also going to be writing up his own opinions on Scholes. We've got, by the way, must say hello to Paul. We think he's watching. And also Stretty Music getting involved. We've got loads of things happening further down on Twitter. Sean, the Scholes programme, it just emphasises how much of a genius he was, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. There's some great views come across as well. Some brilliant stuff come out from Tom, as expected. He's the stats man. Yeah, it's just hopefully it will reach out to the younger fans as well. I mean, obviously he's a relatively current player, so a lot of people will already know about him. But from his earlier days, sort of back in the early 90s, obviously we've talked a lot about that as well. So hopefully a lot of people will find it really informative.
I'm going to call them a comication, a comication, yeah. It's like comedy and education put together. Honestly, you've got to watch it. The 12 Greats of Christmas. It's all about Paul Scholes tomorrow. Make sure you see it from 9 o'clock. Right, that's it from us. I think from everybody on the panel, Kev, Pete, Sean, thank you for coming on. And we're all saying, come on, United. Let's feed the Scousers.
Feed the Scousers. Let them know it's Christmas time. All right.
I'm being told to shush. Thank you for watching. See you later.
Take care.
Go
See you
on. Bye.
Bye.